Hello and welcome to this video about the Lightspeed L-Series restaurant software. Today we're going to take a look at invoicing. We are going to take a look at how we can configure invoicing settings, what we need to do in our restaurant back office, and what we can do on our restaurant POS system. We are going to start off by checking some basic settings. First of all, we go to Settings, Invoice Settings. Here you will find some information to fill in. It's important if you want your invoices to be completely clear to the customer, like they have a bank account number, if you want to use invoice numbers, and if you want to set some days before it expires, you can all do this here. Make sure this is configured once and it will show up on your invoice settings. Then we go to Printing, Printer Templates, and we're going to make sure we have a template for our invoices. So we're just going to call this invoice. You're going to select the type invoice. And here, if you want to connect a printer physically in your business, you can select the printer here. By adding this, we have the invoice template. Then we need one more thing to check. This is payments. To be able to register certain credits on invoices, we need to add certain payment types. The first one will be create invoice, and we select the type paid by invoice. If I add this one, you will get this pop. This payment is only used in our back office. Pay by invoice will not be visible in the iOS app. This button makes sure that you can generate invoices from the back office. This way you will be able to extract a PDF document, and you're also able to mail it to the customer from the back office itself. You will need that one. The other one you will need is put on tab to make sure it's registered as paid, like it's added to the total value the customer will need to pay you in the invoice, is this one. Put on tab. This one will need to be visible on the restaurant POS. Last but not least, we also need a tab paid. We need this button when a customer decides he doesn't want an invoice, for example, at the end of the month, but he decides to pay off his debt another way. You will need this button to be able to do that. So we have three new ones here now: create invoice, put on tab, and tab paid. Create invoice will not be visible on the POS app. Now we are going to check how this flow is actually done on the POS system itself. We go into the Lightspeed restaurant app, and we're going to put a certain amount in order on tab. For example, we have here the bar table. In the bottom left corner, we will have the option to add a customer. You can select your existing customers in this menu. If you want to use a new customer, you simply press New. Here we have the chance to take some credentials down of our customer. This is just a test. Make sure if you want to have the option to email the invoice to your customer, make sure you fill in the email field. Another important one for invoicing is that you take down the VAT number of the customer. Just gonna put a placeholder here. We save this customer, and then we see we get some information about the customer, but now we're just gonna confirm an order on this account. So we're now taking an order for customer Carl Jacobs. You can see this in the left bottom corner. Let's add a coffee. And we go to the payment screen. Now, what do we want to do? We want to put this on tab. We simply press this payment method we just configured, and we're going to finalize it. As you can see now, the order is gone. It's paid. It's in the system as a debt this customer has towards you. I'm going to add another just to do the flow once more. And we're going to put it on tab. On our good friend Carl Jacobs, of course. And we finalize it. Now there's going to be two coffees if we would create the invoice invoiced to our customer Carl Jacobs. There's several ways to do that. The first one will be we go to our customers, we go to Carl Jacobs, and then we have the option here in the right to select invoices. If we press create invoice now, we will have different options. If we press print invoice, it will be printed on the printer we configured in the back office on the invoice template. If we select just create invoice, it will just be generated on your POS system. If you have filled in the email field, you will also have the option to press send email to customer for the invoice. The moment we do that, his debt will be resetted. So it's important to know the system will look at the invoice as paid. You will still need to do a follow-up yourself to see if the money is actually paid onto your account. We can do this here. Now, I'm also gonna show you the example. What if a customer wants to pay already with cash, for example, instead of generating the invoice? Then we just select a table again. We're going to pay without placing an order. And then we're gonna select tab paid. You're gonna get the customer pop-up field. We select Carl. And we're gonna select pay tab. Now you can select the amount of the total tab that is open. This is £4 in this case. So we're gonna just select the full bill, the full invoice. And when you selected the tab paid, it's open again. And now you can actually select your payment method you prefer to register this order. We're gonna select cash, €4. Carl pays this in real life instead of using the invoice. We finalize, and the debt of Carl Jacobs will be gone. In the future, once more, we're gonna select him, confirm. I'm gonna add a cocktail of €12 or pounds this time to him. We're going to pay, put on tab. This is now again added to his debt. The reason I added another debt to Carl Jacobs is because I want to show you we can also create our invoices from the restaurant back office. We go to users, we go to our customers, and here you will get an overview of all the debts that are still open and can be invoiced. As you can see, the last one we did is Carl Jacobs. We added a cocktail of £12, and then we can click this one, and you get some options. Again, you get the customer credentials, but the important part for making the invoice is here. We go to customer invoices, and then we can select create invoices. It says no receipts to invoice. That's because I didn't finalize it yet on the POS system. Now it is. If we're gonna create invoices now, we get this one. So the €12 cocktail that's finalized, that's put on tab and then finalized is here now. And then we can do two things again. We can select mail invoice and put in an email address, or we can do download PDF. Just to give you an example, you get an invoice with the products and the dates. This should be all the steps to use invoicing successfully. You need the 3 payment types, you need a printer receipt, and you need to fill in your settings in the restaurant manager. Also, don't forget to check your company settings and have your VAT number here. And then on the POS system itself, you can put orders on tab, and you can always pay them if the customer doesn't want the invoice. You can always pay them with tab paid. I hope this information was clear. If you still have questions, you can always check our help center or other videos. If something is not clear, then feel free to contact support. We're happy to help you.